I'm discovering, correction, I'm rediscovering a new element, I believe. Lucid landscaping, the shrubbery, the trees, parking lots, exits, entrances. Structure the protons and the neutrons using the pavilions as a framework. Dead for almost 20 years. Still taking me to school. Thanks, Tim. Mark 6, front and center.
Sir, this implies a theoretical element not currently found on the periodic table.
I think you can be right, kid.
I will run a simulation to check element viability.
Yeah, listen, you have a ball with that. I know it's gonna work. I'm gonna take a shower. Tap the Oracle grid. I need some stuff out of storage. Give me everything from projects Pegasus, Exodus, and Goliath. Get ready for a major remodel. Back in hardware mode.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my video all about how Marvel was using Iron Man to lay the foundation for the introduction of X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, their plans have changed a couple times along the way, but a lot of these scenes that they've recently released support that theory, so we'll break it all down. We're doing that giveaway for copies of Spider-Man Far From Home on Blu-ray. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your best Marvel X-Men theory on the video. So you've all seen that deleted scene of Iron Man from Iron Man 2 trying to create the new element that powered his arc reactor. It's based on Tesseract Infinity Stone technology. He lists off a couple of his father's secret S.H.I.E.L.D. files, so these are from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s database. They paid off the Project Goliath Easter egg when we found out about Goliath within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the character. It was the program that Hank Pym and the Goliath character were working on when they were both at S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to create Giant Man.
Back in the day, I was Hank's partner on a project called Goliath.
The other Easter egg, Project Pegasus, they just paid off during Marvel Phase 3, which was meant to set up the Tesseract, the idea of the Infinity Stones, and obviously then Captain Marvel through the Marvel character. Project Pegasus in that context was actually created by Howard Stark and Marvel when he gave her the Tesseract and then built that giant base, which we then saw them blow up at the beginning of the Avengers movie. Each of the different secret S.H.I.E.L.D. files is named for a biblical major event, but also relates to some special new technology that they were researching or trying to create. So you don't name something with an X in it without wanting to hint at future X-Men. And originally we know what Kevin Feige's plan for introducing X-Men and mutants into the MCU was, because he just gave us that deleted scene from the first Iron Man film teasing Avengers, mutants, X-Men, and Spider-Man way before we ever actually got them in the MCU.
As if gamma accidents, radioactive bug bites, and assorted mutants weren't enough. I have to deal with a spoiled brat who doesn't play well with others and wants to keep all his toys to himself. Who the hell are you?
Most of you will probably remember that one of the biggest criticisms of Iron Man 2, and Jon Favreau even acknowledged this, is that they were trying to use it to set up too many future things. So if they were already trying to use it to set up all these major concepts in the MCU, the Infinity Stones, the Pym particles in the quantum realm through Project Goliath, wouldn't then Project Exodus be something major that they were planning on revealing during Marvel Phase 3, Marvel Phase 4 originally? Because it's all about technology, though, that they were developing, Exodus would also have to be some new concept, some new type of power we've never seen before, or a new type of metal alloy that we've never seen, like adamantium. If you're not a big comic book reader, adamantium was created by accident in the comics when a scientist working with the Avengers and the US government tried to replicate Hercules' hammer, which was made out of something called adamantite, which isn't quite adamantium. The alloy that would then become adamantium was created with a combination of regular steel, vibranium, which we already have now in Black Panther thanks to Marvel Phase 3, and an unknown catalyst. So the story concept for what Project Exodus was going to be paying off would have been conceived around the same time that they were developing the story for that first Avengers movie. You have to remember that this is all happening during Marvel Phase 1, so obviously their plans for introducing X-Men have changed a lot because no one at that time knew that Disney would ever buy Marvel Studios, or that then they would also buy Fox and get all the Fox characters back. They wrote the story for Iron Man 2 in 2009, but Disney didn't buy Marvel till 2012. So it just sounds like this deleted scene of Iron Man from Iron Man 2 was intended to lay more groundwork to reveal more about how the X-Men and mutant characters were originally supposed to fit into the MCU back during their original plan. We actually know about some of the changes he made to that original X-Men plan because now the Eternals are sort of a buffer between X-Men coming into the MCU. It takes years to greenlight movies and get things going, so he got started on Eternals before he knew that Disney was going to buy Fox. Exodus in the Bible is all about Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Marvel could have also used that Exodus name as a code for the X-Men originally existing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then a grand conspiracy, put your tinfoil hats on, S.H.I.E.L.D. helping them vanish themselves from sight, them trying to disappear themselves from the public consciousness. Just make everyone forget about X-Men. If you're a big comic book reader, you probably just read about this happening in Powers of X and House of X in the Marvel Comics. It's a really easy way to explain how X-Men have been around this whole time, but we haven't heard about them till now in Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5. But bringing this back around to the Eternals, what happened in the Eternals backstory in the MCU? Now we know because of recent comic book changes that the Celestials are indirectly responsible for creating the X gene in X-Men. When the Celestials were creating the Eternals, later one came and died on planet Earth. Its celestial blood leached into the soil. That slowly mutated mankind's DNA to create the X gene. In fact, part of the reason why you're not seeing a whole lot of X-Men in this Phase 4 schedule here, whether or not some pop up at the end remains to be seen, is because Kevin Feige had to develop this slate and greenlight all this stuff way before the Fox deal was ever done. But even though they're taking the most circuitous route to get to those X-Men characters in the MCU, when you lay it all out, Iron Man is still there as the backbone of how they lay all this story out. In fact, if you look at it, the story of the MCU, you could also say, is the story of the life and death of Tony Stark. But the way they framed the Infinity Saga is that it's all about Tony Stark going from being this selfish guy that only cares about himself, learning what it means to be a hero, then finally sacrificing himself for the greater good, so to speak. Obviously, there are a lot of theories about how he could have survived and backed up his consciousness. There was even a deleted scene from Spider-Man Far From Home where he recorded a special message with his consciousness to give to Peter. That would have originally happened when he first saw the glasses and put them on. They later used a different voice to be the AI of Edith, but obviously that joke, even dead, I'm the hero. The joke continues into Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5. Even dead, you can claim that the Iron Man character is partially responsible for the way they introduce X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The next big question you're asking is when are they actually going to debut X-Men characters inside the MCU? We've gotten the Phase 4 schedule and the first couple of movies into Phase 5 talking about Black Panther 2. But right now the rumor is that there's a Fantastic Four movie that's going to debut sometime around 2022, 2023. It'll take a couple years for them to write that story, but they also are probably going to use Scarlet Witch during the Scarlet Witch series and then during Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, to sort of spin that out, because there's already been canonical tie-in books that are canon to the MCU that have described her as a mutant, saying that the Mind Stone didn't give her powers, but merely unlocked what was already there. The reason why Marvel does stuff like that, lays Easter eggs in, is to leave themselves back doors for storytelling that they can exploit later on if certain things work out. But everybody, post all your Project Exodus theories in the comments below. They paid off Project Pegasus, they paid off Project Goliath, so they're going to pay off Project Exodus at some point in the next couple of years. If you have any Easter egg videos or big questions that you want me to answer in a video, just let me know in the comments below. There's a new Black Widow Thunderbolts video that I'm working on. We got some hints of possible Thunderbolts actually happening during the Black Widow movie. So I'll name a giveaway winner when I post that next Marvel video. Everybody click here for that brand new Birds of Prey trailer video, and click here for that Avengers Infinity Saga trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.